Hello, welcome to the biggest video I've done so far. I am going to attempt to rank every single Tony Hawk's level, all 107 of them, apart from the ones from Shred or Ride, because those games sucked and everybody knows it. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Alright, Air and Space Museum. It's a cool concept. I'm going to say off the mark. It's okay. There's like those handrails that sort of just like vibrate as you grind along them and you go, do you know what I mean? It's a cool concept though. Airport. I mean, this has got to be holy shred, hasn't it? It's got to be. I mean, I don't think there's a single person who's played this franchise who doesn't have a good time on Airport. I mean, the entire course is. I mean, it's almost a downhill level, isn't it? I mean, the entire course is one giant combo. They've nailed everything. I mean, maybe in the original when you got to the end and that was it. You know, there's a couple of quarter pipes to trick off, but I think from Underground 2 onwards, you know, when they started using the same level again, they had the teleport, so you go through the police tape and you'd start again. I think once they added that moved it from one of the greats up to holy shred. No question about that. Alcatraz. Yeah, I'm tempted to put this in holy shred as well. It's such a good map. The goals are just like that prisoner when you try and you distract the guards with the bins, and then you have to collect the keys and then collect the tickets that lead you to the boat. I just like that. There isn't a single dull spot in the map, in the entire map, and it's bigger than Airport, so that's, you know, pretty hard to do. I think the only dull point, if I had to say, was probably, you know, where the skate competition in career mode, that's sort of where the bulldozer is. That's not the best, but everything else about this is, you know, you can go everything from the rooftop of the prison itself all the way down to, you know, where the harbour is, and again, it's one of the maps that you can. There's great lines, great combo opportunity. It's definitely one of the best. I don't think it's as good as Airport, so I'm going to leave it here. The Alps. It feels like, you know, they've done all of the snowboard levels in like SSX and Shaun White and all that, and then they think, oh, Tony Hawk's doesn't have a snow level apart from Canada, which is amazing, but it's fine. There's quite a few things to trick off. It's not the fastest of the downhill levels, but I'll probably put it in middle of the pack. Asteroid Belt from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which I don't think this is going to take too long. You just fall off, like, you know, fall off all the time. I think it's the only level in the entire game where you can have moon gravity without actually having to put in a cheat or buy a cheat. So there's that. Do you know, it reminds me of that final level in Freestyle Scooter, if you ever played that, which was also a terrible game. But yeah, there's nothing special about this map. They're going for the sci-fi look. Maybe the controls, how rough this game felt, has got something to do with it. As a concept, it's pretty good, but the execution was just. I mean, it's flat as well. You have all of space to play with, and this is one of the flattest levels in the entire franchise. I mean, what is with that? So yeah, Skateboard Atlanta. This, I think, is exclusive to the PSP version of Underground 2 Remix, and it's quite a big level for such a small device. You know, it's a street level. There's no doubt about that. So, you know, similar to like Boston, Barcelona. Yeah, loads of things to trick off. I'm surprised that they've put, I don't want to say effort, they've put a lot into, let's face it, a level that not many people are going to play. Not many people play Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix. Yeah, this level's not bad. Maybe it could be a little bit more condensed, but yeah, there's lots of things to trick off. I think I'll put it in, there's fun to be had. There's fun to be had in Atlanta. In terms of how realistic it is, I've never been to I believe it's in Georgia. I've never been there, so I couldn't say. But yeah, in terms of the level, it's pretty fun. Australia, in my opinion, one of the better ones. There's not many levels in that career mode. I think there's only 7 or 8, not including the unlockable ones at the end. I like there's like levels to it. So there's the beach, and then there's the boardwalk, and then there's the ramp with all the stairs, and then there's the street itself. And one of the things I remember about Tony Hawk's when I was a kid was just, you know, grinding balconies and going in a level higher every time. Yeah, and fun goals as well, where you where you grinded on the bulldozer and it just destroyed half of the level. Yeah, it's one of the better ones. I don't think it's holy shred status, but it's definitely up there. I'm going to put it in one of the greats. I think this was Neversoft's last 1, if I'm not mistaken. Again, it's another street level, and it's a lot more realistic. They're going for a lot more realistic approach compared to previous titles. The harbour itself does add to this, but it is a little flat. There's not too much to do. I do admit that this introduced rigging into the game, so you could add quite a lot of stuff yourself. So it's sort of like a hybrid between story mode and creator park. There's some decent lines, but there's nothing memorable, nothing special. I'll probably put it in middle of the pack. Lansdowne, I think this is a skate park level. Yeah, it's the skate park in Proving Ground. It's just round the corner from the harbour, actually. This reminds me of the skate park in Project 8, but I don't think it's got quite as much going for it. It looks like a fairly realistic skate park. It's not as good as the FDR Skatepark, that's definitely true. To be fair, I don't remember doing much with this in the game when I played through it, so it's there, but it's not calling out to be skated. It's sort of hidden off the track a little bit. I'll probably put it in, it's going to be Off the Mark or Sketchy Landing. I don't think it's as interesting as the Air and Space Museum. I'll probably put it on Sketchy Landing. Yeah. Barcelona. This is one of the levels I remember the most vividly. Not just because it was one of my favourite games in the series, because they've crammed so much into it. There's, it's not flat. There's levels to it. There's lots of combo lines. We get to play as Steve the Mechanical Bull. Steve-O on his Mechanical Bull. There's the fan boost. There's the bridge. There's peg leg. There's three distinct areas this level, and then we've got the subway as a shortcut as well. So I think overall this is one of the top picks. It's got the cable cars as well. Yeah, and I like this one. I think it's going to go in one of the greats. Is it better than Australia? That's the question. It's definitely not better than Alcatraz. You know what? I think it just edges Australia. Just Bay Bridge Tunnel from Proving Ground, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It is literally just a tunnel. However, saying that, they've managed to cram quite a few things into this tunnel and around the edges, and you can combo the whole thing. It's got a nice flow to it. In terms of like a connecting area between Baltimore and Philly, it's pretty good. For what it is. This was never designed to be a full-blown level, but they've still fit quite a few gaps, quite a few combo lines in it as well, as you can see. So going off the fact that this was just meant to be a transitional area, I'm going to say this is a solid choice. I know that might surprise a few people. Berlin. It's quite a square level. Lots of verticality, lots of high up places, especially that building in the middle with the fan launcher, and then you go onto the art museum or the art building and do that rocket air. Disrupt communication, whatever the goal was called, something like that. I remember doing that. I remember there's the destructible environment as well, with the tram or the train coming off the rails as well. And this is the level where you swap onto Bam's team. I think you get to play as Bam and Paulie in the wheelchair. I think this is going to score quite highly, despite it on the ground level being pretty flat with not too much to do. If you can utilise the vertical areas, it's a pretty solid choice. Definitely better than the Bay Bridge Tunnel. Berrics from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a pretty terrible level. I know it's based on a real area. That might be what makes it a terrible Tony Hawk's level. There's just nothing to it. It's a bowl outside, a few railings on the insides, no verticality, not memorable at all. Sorry, this is going in skateboard, and I think it's worse than Asteroid Belt. Beverley Hills. It's another street level. I do think the street levels on Underground on American Wasteland kind of merge together a little bit in my brain. I didn't play this one as much as the others, but I do think Beverly Hills is one of the better ones because of the vertical areas, and it's not just roads. There's like the fountain and lots of hidden like tunnels and alleyways to create combos with. So it is a street level, but it's not a boring street level, if that makes sense. So I think I'm gonna put it in the middle of the road, middle of the pack. Is it better than Baltimore? I think it is. Is it better than the Alps? I think it's very close. I'm going to leave it where it is now. Bonfire Beach from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Well, it's better than the Berrics. I can see that it looks like they had a great concept, a great idea, and then they executed it terribly, which I think is going to be the case with a lot of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 games. See, there's these ramps here that look like they're going to give you a boost, and they don't. It looks like someone made a creator park on Pro Skater 3, if that makes sense, and they just added a bit of fire. Called it a bonfire. Nothing special. It's playable. It's serviceable. It's not going to be the lowest on the list, but it's close to being fun, if that makes sense. So I think this is going to go in sketchy landing. I do think it's better than Lansdowne, but not by much, and it's not as good as the Air and Space Museum. Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, fairly close to New York, I think, in the northeast. My American friends will tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's northeast. This is where we meet Ben Franklin. Yeah, if you watch my previous video, you'll know how I feel about Ben Franklin. Again, it's a square street level, a bit like Berlin. Maybe this is nostalgia speaking, but I think I prefer it to Berlin slightly, even though it's not as vertical. I think what they do on the ground level is a little bit more interesting than just a few roads and a few places to spin. The goals as well in story mode do a lot of the heavy lifting in this as well. Yeah, I know this is a good level. It's the first one. It's the first level in Tony Hawk's Underground 2. It's the first and only time we get to play as Bob Burnquist before he gets shot in the nuts by a tennis ball. Again, with the destructible environments as well. Yeah, I think this is a solid choice, and I do think it beats Berlin, but only just. Again, I don't think it's as good as Australia. Bullring next, the last competition level from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I might get a lot of hate for this, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. It's compact. It's got some decent rampage. And one of the most annoying goals in the remake as well, the banana bandana. I think it might have been glitched or something. But in terms of map level and playability, yes, it's got the ring. It's got the skating loop. But it's impossible to put that into a combo because when you're manual, you lose all your speed. So got a little bit of verticality, but again, it looks like a standard. Someone made a creator park, and they just put it inside a bull ring, hence the name Bullring. So I'm gonna put this one in off the mark. People are gonna hate me for that, but I don't care. It's my list. The bunker. I'll say it's from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. It's sort of a hybrid of warehouse and hangar. The first two levels in the first two games, so I can see where they were going for. In terms of the way it looks, I like it. Not gonna lie. The way it plays is another story, but that's down to the engine, not the level itself. I'm trying to be unbiased here and just go off the way the levels look and what I can remember from the games in terms of goals and stuff, and I can't remember a single goal on here. Probably some stuff about getting beach balls out of a pool. I mean, what were they thinking? But in terms of level and the skatability, imagine this level but in Neversoft's engine. I reckon it'd be pretty good. It'd certainly be on par with Training and Warehouse and that kind of ilk. However, where am I going to put it? I think it's middle of the pack, but the lower end of middle of the pack. In fact, I'll probably put it in off the mark. Yeah, I'm looking at it again, putting that as a bang average map. I think it's lower than average. Next, we've got Burnside. This is based on a real skate park as well. I cannot remember for the life of me whereabouts it is. Portland, maybe? Is it Portland? But it is based on a real place, and remember, this came out with the very first Tony Hawk's, and it was a competition level, so I don't know if we're going to cut them some slack for that, but there's not a lot to do here. There's two pools, one small with an eyeball in it, and one square. There's a quarter pipe and a bridge scaffolding thing that you can grind on, but that's about it, really. I think the only reason this is a memorable map is because of the nostalgia. It was the first Tony Hawk's, the worst level of the original Tony Hawk's. So where am I going to put it? It's not as good as Bullring. It's not as good as Bonfire Beach. It's on par with Lansdowne, definitely. But I do think Lansdowne edges it just because it's bigger and it's got more to trick on. Canada. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I mean, this has got to be one of the greats, at least. If not, Holy Shred. Going to be in the remake coming up. So yeah, this is definitely one of the more popular maps. And every part of it's skatable. And there's two distinct areas. There's the skate park area with the street next to it, and then there's the wooded foresty area with the generator and the vertical elements, finding the hidden tape and that guy peeing off the side as well. It can be a little bit annoying to skate, especially if when I was quite new to the game, kept falling off. But in terms of how it's stuck in your memory, it's definitely one of the more creative maps. I'll definitely be putting it in one of the greats. I think it's better than Australia. Is it better than Barcelona? I think it's between the two. I'm going to leave it there. One of the greats. The capital. You know what? It's a very small level that's in a very big open world, but it does what it does with the space it uses. It does a pretty good job, I think. Very, very, very vertical area. as well. Nice bowl in the middle. I like the goal where you have to break through the security. I like the acid drop challenges from the roof as well. Pretty good area to skate, surprisingly. I'd say it's surprisingly good. From the outside, it looks like it's going to be really annoying to skate, but it's not bad. Especially once you get used to it, it's not bad. I think I'm going to put it, it's solid. I think I'm going to put it in There's Fun to Be Had. I don't think it's as good as Atlanta. Now we've got the Carnival, which is a bonus level or a purchasable level from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's you know, you're skating around a carnival, a bit like the Fun Park from Project 8, which we'll get to later. I think this is like Marmite, if that makes sense, my American friends. You either love this map or you hate it. Which side am I on? In terms of the goals, I think it's a really unique concept adding fairground rides to a skateboard level, and I do like it, I think. And just like carnivals in real life, there is some fun to be had. I am actually going to put this on the lower end of solid choice. I think it's cool that you can skate around the entire... If you time it properly, you can skate around the entire track. I like the fact that every single ride is skatable. The goals in story mode are unique, you know, like the photo bombs and doing the tour. I think if it was just given to you as a bonus level with no goals, it would probably be somewhere in the middle of the park, but I do think the goals add to it, so it's a solid choice. Casino, which I think some people call it Las Vegas. I think this was originally in Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix, and then they used it again in classic mode or was it story mode of American Wasteland. Either way, it doesn't skate well. I think the PSP version is actually a little bit better. But yeah, no, they've just got a giant hall, stuck a few machines in it and changed them so that they can be skated, but they don't look like quarter pipes. There's a giant pool with a giant fountain, and there's the high roller room on top, which is basically just 4 tables, which you can't really do any combo. I don't like this level. It's a cool idea, but again, executed badly. Sorry, Casino is... I think it's worse than Bullring. I think it's a sketchy landing. In fact, I think it's worse than Bonfire Beach and Lansdowne and Burnside. Sorry. Don't know I'm saying sorry, it's my list. Chicago Mall from Downhill Jam. One of the weaker levels on this game. Too many things to crash into at the start. The roller coaster thing, impossible. Can't even... I mean... Yeah. I don't know if they tried to resemble it to look like Mall from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. If they were going for that, it didn't work. There's barely anything to skate besides railings. So I think, is there a cinema? I can't remember if there's a cinema. But no, I mean, it looks more like a Hot Wheels track than a Tony Hawk's level. It's not great. And this is going to have to go on sketchy landing. I do think it's better than Casino though. Chicago from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I think this was this originally in Matt Hoffman? Am I thinking of the right game? But yeah, they added it as a bonus level like Carnival, and it's another street level, but I do think it's one of the better street levels. The colour palette's not great. It's very grey looking, very well, it's Chicago, innit? I do like there's a huge bridge gap that you can do. You need your stats on full pretty much to do it. The goals are okay. I don't think it's as good as Carnival. If you're comparing the 2 bonus levels, I don't think it's as good as Carnival, but I do think it's a good street level. I think it's a similar kind of ilk to Atlanta on the PSP. Is it better? I think it's very close. I think the bridge gap takes it over just. So I think Fun to Be Had is a good place for Chicago. And then we've got the original Chicago, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, the first competition level in the entire series. Considering it was their very first competition level, and it's basically just, it's a skate park level, it's not the worst. I mean, it's pretty bad. Don't get me wrong, again, it's just a half pipe and a bowl. All the competition or skatepark levels seem to be a half pipe and a bowl. This one's okay. The space is used well. Combos you're not going to find easy on this game, but then again, when this level was made, you couldn't even manual, so I'm not gonna put it down too much for that. Nostalgia, I'm gonna try and not get sidetracked. It's a pretty naff level. I think it goes just behind the Bullring for me. Off the mark. Sorry. Chopper drop. Oh dear. I think this is in the bottom three of the entire 107 level list. I'm sorry, but this is where fun goes to die. Who thought that this was a good bonus level? It is literally a half pipe. Not a good one. I mean, there's not even any variation to the half pipe. So, I mean, there's nothing to say. Chopper drop is one of the worst levels in the entire franchise. City Park from Project 8. I quite like it. Yeah, it's bigger than you think. Yeah, it's got the basketball area, the fountain area where you have that skate off with those three blokes, those three guys. It's got the pool, it's got a few of the photo goals as well. I do like City Park. It looks nice as well. Yeah, monuments and stuff to trick off. I think this is going to go in fun to be had. I think it's better than the capital. But again, I don't think it's better than Atlanta. Probably purely because how big Atlanta is. The club, yeah, this is a really badly designed level. I know there's a couple of people that like it, but you can't even grind on the bar area. It just kicks you off. And it's rounded as well, so it looks like you should be able to grind around it, but you can't. The dance floor is just a flat mess. Yeah, you can transfer between them, but it's just flat. Again, there's a bowl in there and a few ramps to trick off. It's not the worst level in Tony Hawk's history, but it's definitely below average. It's far from the top. I think this goes in Sketchy Landing. College from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. This is one of the better maps in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I wouldn't say it's a street level, but it's quite open and flat. Despite it being quite an open map, there are lots of combo lines, lots to trick off. There's that hidden area that launches you onto the high wire. There's the my car, the professor guy. Let's see if you can even spell. I remember the lines. It's probably because it's the first level. It's the one you've played the most. I remember this is the first game I got on the PlayStation 2. I must have played the hell out of this game. I think it's a solid choice. It might even be one of the greats. I think it's one of the greats. I honestly do. I really like the college level. And I don't think that's nostalgia speaking. If nostalgia was taking over, this would be on holy shred. But no, that's reserved for the absolute best of the best. College, definitely one of the greats though, because of the layout, because of the size, and because of the story goals as well. Construction site. This reminds me of the construction level from from Toy Story 2 on the PlayStation 1, if you ever played that. Not a lot going on. It's a pretty small square map. At least the edges are sort of reined in a bit with quarter pipes, so you don't crash into walls. But the actual centerpiece, the actual construction site part, it's not that skateable. These levels that are exclusive to 2X seem to be letting the game down. I think it's going on Sketchy Landing. Cruise ship, the final level or the bonus level on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because I know this is one of the most popular levels in the game. However, I don't like it as a level. As a Tony Hawk's level, I don't like it. I don't think it's very skateable. I mean, there are some combo lines, but most of the time it's like a spiral grind of some sort, or skating around the edge of the ship. Sorry, the cruise ship. I get that there's a bit of lore there with the real captain and he's been kidnapped or whatever. But if you look at this purely from how does it play as a Tony Hawk's game, I think it's too compact. I think it's, again, like a lot of the lower ranked levels, it's a really good concept and it was almost executed really well. There's just too much in a small space. Having said that, it's far from the worst. I think I'm going to put it in middle of the pack, and I think it's going to be close to the top of the middle of the pack. But I don't think it's better than the capital, and I know a lot of people will disagree, but like I keep saying, it's my list. D.C National Mall from Proving Ground. I think this is it's a decent level to skate when you really look at it from an objective view. The colour palette is so washed out and grey, and I think that's the case with a lot of these Project 8 and Proving Ground levels. It's got some decent lines. It relies quite a lot on spine transfers. It's quite small for a street level, but it is nice. There's not a lot I don't like about it. Having said that, there's not a lot I like about it. So I think this is just going to go straight in the middle of the pack. Do it for Baltimore. One of the weaker levels in Proving Ground, I think. I remember the goal there where you try and jump over a fountain, you get launched into the air. And I think it's where you meet Bam in this game, where you climb up the ladder. Apart from that, it's just a pretty flat area with a bridge and a quarter pipe. I don't like it. It's boring. Sorry. Let's go into skateboard. It's better than the Berrics though. Downhill jam now, and I'll do my best not to let nostalgia get the best of me. However, this is by far one of my favourite levels. And it shouldn't be. Looking at it from a purely technical skating standpoint, there's not that much fluidity. You know, yeah, a few things link together, but compared to, where do we put the airport? The airport's the best one so far. Compared to the airport, which is similar kind of get to the end and that's it, it'd be a lot easier to combo the entire airport level just because of how well it flows. I mean, having said that, it doesn't flow terribly. I like the fact that the ramps are all a bit different. It's not just quarter pipes and kickers. That makes sense. Big slopes, fun boxes, rails, a giant half pipe in the middle. Yeah, I think it's going to go in one of the greats. Downtown Philly. And to be fair, it's a much more realistic depiction of Philly than Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Lots and lots of things to trick off. But again, with the grey colour palette, it's just so washed out. The actual street themselves pretty flat, not much to do, but they make up for that with all the stuff they put around the edges. I think this is a solid level. I do. I don't think it's the most memorable, but they do. Yeah, they bring the fountain back from. Well, I say they bring the fountain back. The fountain's always been in Philadelphia, but you know what I mean. But I think the Philadelphia levels from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is better. But yeah, it's okay. I'll probably put it slightly above average. I'll put it between the Capitol and the Park. Downtown from Tony Hawk's American Wasteland next. This is a street level similar to Beverly Hills. I don't think it's quite as good as Beverly Hills. I didn't play this game very much, but from what I did play, this was fine. You know, nothing screams out to me in my memory that's like, oh, there was this bit that was really good. I think it's fine. I wouldn't say it's the best level ever. It's not the worst either. I think it's going to go off the mark. It's going to go in front of the bunker though. Alright, now I've got the original Downtown from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, or Tony Hawk's Skateboarding if you're from the UK. This is a very simple design, again another street level, very flat apart from the buildings, obviously, where you get the secret tape and the popcorn buckets and all that kind of stuff. Considering this was made on a game when you couldn't manual, there are quite a few decent combo lines, thanks to, you know, the kickers and the bus stops and stuff. It does feel a little bit forced, the kickers randomly in the middle of the street. Like, it's like they made the level, oh, let's do a level based on, you know, New York or whatever it was. Not New York, Minneapolis, I'm sorry, Minneapolis. Is it Minneapolis? And they built the roads, and then they were like, oh, do you know what? This is just a road. We need to put some stuff on. And they said, okay, let's just stick some kickers in the middle of the roads because it's a skating game, and why not? You could get away with that kind of stuff in the PS1 era. It does look a little forced today. Having said that, I like the vertical elements, getting on the rooftops and stuff, going through the garagey area. I will put this in fun to be had. East LA from Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. Easily the best level in American Wasteland, not including classic mode, in my opinion. It's one of the most memorable. It's on Thug Pro. I think it gets voted for it's one of the most voted for maps on Thug Pro. You go on Thug Pro and you look at the servers, and pretty much always there's going to be a game on East LA. And there's a good reason for that. It's a very long in terms of length. Grinding the tram line and launching into the air is so fun. Even the edges of the map, I keep calling them maps, I'm sorry, edges of the level, there's not a lot that you can include in a combo. There's nothing there that looks forced, like it was put there last minute or like it shouldn't be there. There's the underground ditch area. I really like this level. I really like, considering I didn't play the game this much, it's still one of the more memorable levels in the franchise. I think this is going to go in the top end of a solid in fact, no, I think it's one of the greats. I think it's one of the greats. There we go. I've done it. That's enough. Edinburgh in Scotland for Downhill Jam. I wanted this level to be good, just because I'm from the UK, but it's just a big stone path with nothing to skate. Literally, I mean, oh, there's a wall. Oh, look, there's a wall and a jump. Oh, well done. Oh, look, another wall. It's just stone walls and stone streets. There's nothing special about it. I'm sorry. This one falls flat for me. I think it's going to go on skateboard. And it's the low end of skateboard as well. So, right, we've got Factory from Project 8. I like how you unlock this area. That's memorable. The rails that speed you up, the launch rails or whatever you want to call them. There's lots of grinding lines in this level. Lots of places to get combos going. Some of the goals feel a bit forced. Like, why would you have a skating competition in a car factory? But, or sorry, demo. In terms of skateability, I rank this pretty high. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think the 6th gen version isn't as good. The PlayStation 2 Xbox version isn't as good. Didn't play that one as much. But yeah, this is a great spot, and I think it's underrated, a bit like the Foundry, which we're going to come across soon. I'm going to rate this quite. I think it's a solid choice, you know. I think it's below Carnival though. FDR Skatepark next. I think this is based on Philadelphia. I like that they took the skate park from the original Philadelphia level and just added to that, you know, elaborated on that, made it much more realistic with a lot more to do. I think it flows really nicely, considering it is literally just a skate park. One of the better skate park levels in Tony Hawk's for sure. The goals, the carving and the thingy grinds forgot what they call them. Those were awful though. Those goals were awful to do. But yeah, I think it's a decent, for a skate park level, it's pretty decent. I think I'm going to put it in the middle of the pack. Okay, we've got the Foundry. Underrated, in my opinion. Very underrated. Yeah, it's quite small. But yeah, lots of things to trick off. And I remember dunking that guy in the water as well. That's fun. Grinding the molten bucket. Yep, all these memorable goals. It might be a little bit of nostalgia here, but I think it's a really solid level. The only thing that lets it down for me, when you do grind the 5 vowels and you unlock that spirally hidden area, there's not a lot to do in there apart from grind down the spiral, obviously. So I think they could have maybe elaborated on that a little bit, but it's a solid level. I think I'm going to put it in a solid choice. Again, with Factory. Now, is it better than Factory? I think so. Freedom Plaza, now that I'm looking at it again. There's not a lot to do here. You can reach the metro from here, but yeah, it's just 2 pools and a fountain. You can't really skate much of it. I get that they're going for that iconic location. It's a street level that falls flat for me. I think I'm going to put it in Sketchy Landing. Right, Fun Park. I enjoyed this. I did. I think it's colourful. I think it's fun. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's better than Carnival from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Things you can trick off are a lot more interesting. The goals make sense for where it is. It's a little rough around the edges. Combo lines are few and far between unless you're on the walls of the quarter pipes around the edge. You wouldn't be able to combo from one end to the other easily just because of all the obstacles, but that comes with, it's a fun park, what you're supposed to do. So it's definitely there's fun to be had. I think it's going to be on the top end of fun to be had. Right, Hangar. As much nostalgia as I have for this, if you looked at it objectively in terms of a skateboarding level, it's not great. It's small, compact, you can skate everything. It is just a hangar. It's not, I know it was the second game ever made, and it has a place in people's hearts and all that, but yeah, it's fine. Middle of the park, I reckon. Okay, Hawaii with the big helicopter jump, one of the best story goals in the franchise. Now, does that correlate to it being one of the best areas? It's definitely got the verticality. I'd class this as another street level with a beach on the side, because why not? Although despite there being a beach and despite it being Hawaii, you don't spend very, very, very long on the beach, to be fair. Yeah, there's a couple of distinct areas. There's the middle bit with the trees where you do the lip tricks. There's the slums area where you do all the tricking off the fences and houses and stuff. And then, of course, there's the big helicopter jump. Nothing says aloha like getting laid. You know that guy. Yeah, I think this is a solid choice, I reckon. Okay, next we've got Hilltop. Just outside the fun park, there is nothing really to do here. It's just a flat piece of concrete with a small little cafe looking building and a quarter pipe around the edge. Yeah, there's a competition, but that's goal specific, and all it does is add a giant half pipe into the middle. Yeah, there's nothing to do here. It looks like it's a bit of a filler level, to be honest. I think this is gonna go on skateboard, and I think it's worth at Edinburgh. Hollywood from Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, another street level. They all seem to just blend in, don't they? This is the one where you start. Like all the street levels, there's nothing memorable about it. The most memorable thing about this is the like red carpet thing. Yeah, it's not great. It's going to be ranked pretty high. I think it's going on Sketchy Landing. Right, Hong Kong from Downhill Jam. One of the better levels, I think, on Downhill Jam. They've got the aesthetic perfect. I do like the design of this, especially towards the end as well. Towards the end of the level, it's one of the few levels in Downhill Jam that has quarter pipes as well. I do like it. It's one of the best levels on Downhill Jam, sure. I think I'm going to put it on Fun to be Had. Hotter than hell. Did anyone actually like this level? And we've got to collect KISS before, so that we can see a 30-second clip of a Kiss concert. Fluff. Filler. Well, I won't say it's filler, but it's not the best for a skate level. It's just a flat piece of concrete with a few ramps and some walkways. It's not good. It's just not good. It's going on a skateboard. Inner City Philly. I think that is the one that you start on, and I like it. I think it flows quite nicely for a street level. It's a little bit washed out, nothing too memorable, but you can grind curbs on this one, which I know it sounds a bit silly, but it does make it a lot nicer to play. I think this is going in the middle of the pack. Yeah, the middle of the levels. There's just a little tiny alleyway with nothing to skate. Maybe there's a dumpster or something. I think middle of the pack. Kona. One of the you love it or you hate it levels. I think a lot of people Kona gets a lot of hate. I think it's underrated. For a skate park level, I think it's one of the biggest ones. I cannot wait to see what this looks like in the remake. Memorable goals include the magic bum returning from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Is he in 3? I don't know. Lots of cool places to trick. Combos, maybe not so much, but I remember jumping over the house, yeah, and doing the misty flip as well. So and getting the skate gear back from the kids as well. Oh, and that slalom goal, the bane of my life. I will probably, but it's a good level. It's a good level. I think there's fun to be had in Kona, and I think it's the top end of fun to be had. Kyoto from American Wasteland and Tony Hawk's Underground 2 remix. For a street level, I think this is one of the best. If you're gonna do a street level on a skateboarding game, this is how you do it. Especially on Tony Hawk's, you can trick on pretty much everything. There's so many layers. There's verticality. Not one corner of the map looks the same. There's a mini skate park in the corner. There's the interior, like the mall area. I like it. I do. I actually think this might be a solid choice. I think so. I think Kyoto was a solid choice. Whoever designed this map did a great job. London, when you chase a bunch of coppers on a tricycle. Stompy the elephant as well, which is kind of funny because the level you unlock after this is the zoo, where you also break an elephant free. They like breaking elephants free on this game. Yeah, lots of verticality. Again, it's a street level that's done quite well. Not quite as well as Kyoto, but still pretty good. And I know there's a few people that have their problems with this map, but I think it all connects together nicely. A big letdown is probably the flatland. It's like, why not put some ramps here? You know what I mean? Let's do a competition of just flatland, because I don't know, it felt like a bit of a cop out. But other than that, the other 90% of the map is really good. I think anyway. So I think London is gonna get it's fun to be had in London. Next, we've got LA. Who doesn't remember this map? I think this map has been redone the most of all of them. It's one of the biggest levels in the first 3 games, if not the biggest. And of course, it's got Andy THPS ledge as well, which I can't do. Yeah, you got the earthquake, which is legendary. You got the combo line that goes all the way from the pop-in gap all the way up the fire engine around to the cinema. Yeah, that's where the combo is on Underground 2. I'm tempted to put this in Holy Shred. I'm very tempted to put this in Holy Shred. I think I'm gonna put it on one of the greats. I might change it later though. Machu Picchu. I like the idea. I like the fact that they decided let's do something different and go with a non-building-y street kind of course. It looks like it will belong in like a motorbike game rather than a skateboarding game. But it does work to an extent, not too much to trick off, similar to Edinburgh in that sense. But it's more visually entertaining than Edinburgh, which was literally just a stone wall. But having said that, it's not that much better. This is going to score quite lowly, but it is better than Edinburgh. I think this is going to go in Sketchy Landing. Alright, Main Street from Project 8. One of the better areas in this game, I think. Again, it's a street area. They like their street areas in skateboarding games. It's got the clock tower that she used to open the school area. Nothing special about this area really. It's memorable because it's like the center, the epitome of the map. But yeah, nothing special. Middle of the pack for me. Okay, Mall. I really like this level. It's like Downhill Jam. It's like Airport. It's one of those levels that you can combo for the entire level. I do like it. I remember the directories, the little robots. I remember the secret tape on top of the. Not the strobe light, the lighting, the car with the ramp. The ending area was a little bit weird, just before the car park with the quarter pipes on either side. I think Mall is going to go on one of the greats. Right, Manhattan. This is my top 5. This is the best street level, I think, in a Tony Hawk's game, full stop. And it doesn't look like it at first, but every single area has a purpose, and there is no boring area. The Brooklyn Banks, there's the waterfront, there's the pier with the car that you drive into the water, there's the complex at the other end where you can grind around the windows, there's the Water Street, is it? And I've actually been to Water Street in real life just to see, and to be fair, looks pretty accurate. Although this game came out 20 odd years before I went to see the real thing. Didn't see the anchor in real life, but it was pretty cool to go to New York, go to Water Street, stand on the end, and look down and be like, oh wow, it's Tony Hawk's Underground. This is bizarre. I'm sure people who actually live in America don't see that, but I thought it was pretty cool. I think it's gonna have to go on Holy Shred. Right, Marseille. like all the other competition levels, it seems to just be a big bowl with a few rails. Having said that, it's one of the better bowls. It's very skatable. Spine transfers. There's a little combo area around the edge with the railing and the fun box. And there's a little hidden area that goes into a little area with a fountain. It's a shame. I wish they did a little bit more with this hidden area, because it's literally just one quarter pipe and a couple of railings, and that's it. It's fine. Nothing special. I don't want nostalgia to get the better of me here, so if I'm being objective, I think this goes, to be fair, I think this goes off the mark. We've got the Mega Park from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Oh dear. I don't know if they were just trying to copy Skate 3 here, but this fell flat. Speaking of flat, how can a skate park be so dull and flat? Yeah, look, it's colourful. It's red, orange, you know, it's not like Proving Ground kind of bland. But I feel like they just put these launch ramps there to sort of make up for the fact that it's a boring level. I'm sorry, but those launch ramps don't make up for that. It's just a big... They're all just big bowls, aren't they? These skate park levels are just big bowls, but this one here is especially terrible. Probably sketchy landing criteria. I'm going to put it just behind construction site. Okay, we've got the Metro, which is actually a transition area from Proving Ground. The fact that this is a transition area but still ranks so highly on my list, because as you'll see in a minute, I think that's kind of mad. This could have been a whole level in itself, and it would have been a pretty cool level. Like the launch rails, you can combo the entire area. You can also go headfirst into a train. I really, really like this level. I'm going to surprise a few people here. I think this is a solid choice, and I think it's quite high up on those. I think it's better than Foundry. I do. It's so fun to skate this area. That'll surprise a few people. Moscow. This, I'm going to say it straight away, is a holy shred level. And not only is it a holy shred level, it's pretty much tied, if not... do you know what? I'm going to put it at the top. I am going to put it at the top. This level is in my top 3, maybe even my top 2. There is just so much going on in this level. And not just the level itself, but the goals as well, when you have to escape from Moscow, when they send you back to New Jersey. Bam Margera and the tanks. Look at those tanks. Jumping over the wall. Picking up the girls in the car. This is meeting the contacts, finding the gaps. That giant combo line that starts at, you know, is it St. Basil's Cathedral? And the fact that there's one continuous combo line through the entire map, I just think, yeah, it's at the top for now. And it's well deserved as well. Okay, New Jersey from Tony Hawk's Underground, the first level in the game, where you live, where you defeat Eric Sparrow. 10 pound slams to the gem, an often but lucky little bitch. Still better than you. And then you skitch on Charles the dog, you meet Chad Musker. The street skating punks are up to something again, grinding around the thing, officer, whatever. Yeah, this is such a good level. For a starter level, it's really good. The train tracks, probably the weakest part, but it's still pretty good. He's flipping a bitch. Yeah, I do like this level. This is going on one of the greats. We've got New Orleans, or Norlands. I know a lot of people loved this level. Absolutely loved this level, and I never did. And I don't know why. Maybe it's the size. Maybe it's the fact that it's probably the most vertical level in the franchise, and I wasn't a big rooftop skater kind of person. However, Raising the Dead has got to be one of the coolest things in any Tony Hawk's game ever. Just the fact that they call it Skull Time, I think is pretty cool. And then saving New Orleans, the stuff with the grab trick and into hell, or the fire pit or whatever. I'm a bit torn on this one. In terms of the story mode, I really like it. In terms of how skateable it is as a level, not so much. I will probably put this just above average. I'm probably going to put... I've lost it. Where's it gone? New Orleans. I'm probably going to put it in fun to be had. I think it's better than Kona. New York City. Not the best street level, but it's not all street. I like the railway itself that takes you into the second area. They've got a little bit of Central Park in there as well. I assume it's Central Park with the subway ticket. I like the fact that you had to get the subway tickets before you can actually go onto the subway. And of course, 50-50ing thingy sculpture. What's it called? 50-50. That Joey sculpture. Thank you. I know that. Yeah, it's a memorable level, and it's memorable for a reason, as in it's pretty damn good. I'll probably put it on solid choice. We've got the oil rig now from American Wasteland. I think this is a good level, and I think it gets a lot of hate. I think it's undeserved. In terms of a level, it's quite a vertical level. There's quite a lot of platforms on it. Quite a lot of grinding, quite a lot of combo lines in that. Less air time, and then it's a giant big hazard because at any point you can fall into the sea. But I think it's a cool concept for a level, and I think it's one of the concepts they've actually pulled off quite well. So I'm going to put in a solid choice, and that might surprise a few people. Okay, Philadelphia. Draining the Fountain. Who can forget Draining the Fountain? It was a lot harder on the original game. Blunt sliding the awning, the trash bags, the hoagies. One of the levels that was not remade, but reused in Underground 2. Classic mode. And of course there's the skate park as well. The FDR Skatepark was built on a really decent level. I don't think it's holy shred by any means, but I do think it's pretty high. I think it's going to go on the lower end of one of the greats. Practice Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I mean, it's just a half pipe, isn't it? It's just a half pipe. And at least Chopper Drop had a chopper and a drop. This is literally just a half pipe, and I get it's practice, but yeah, sorry. Pro Skater, the unlockable level or the bonus level from Tony Hawk's Underground 2. 3 distinct areas that you have to access through portals by pressing buttons or spray painting statues. We had the alien spaceship area, then we had the burial ground / Native American / tomb area, and then we had Hell, which I thought could have been expanded a lot more than it was. It was basically just 2 quarter pipes and a big tongue. Really, really cool concept, but it just doesn't flow. There's no decent combo lines. It was I remember playing it split screen with my brother, where we used to play Fireball and Slap. That was fun. That was really fun. In terms of going on to free skating and skating for the fun of it, it's not a very good level. I think it's going in Sketchy Landing. Rio De Janeiro. It's okay. It's alright. It's quite small. It's another square sort of street level with a skate park in the middle. The skate park in the middle was ignored by most people, I reckon, and so were the streets. It was all about this grind line around the edge of the skate park area, and if it wasn't for the grind line, this would be probably skateboard or even Where Fun Goes to Die. So that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting. There was a secret area with a bowl somewhere. It wasn't worth finding. It was fine. I think it was a little bit off the mark. And then we've got another Rio from Downhill Jam. Not the best. Not the best at all. In fact, pretty garbage. It's a bit like Edinburgh, really, with a few extra things you can grind on. So for that reason, it's going just above Edinburgh. It's really hit and miss, that Downhill Jam game. It had some really good belter levels, and then other ones like this, it was just a big long path. So, oh look, a ramp. Great. Where does it lead to? Another path. Rome. Which I think is one of the best levels in Downhill Jam. It's certainly not the best Tony Hawk's level, but one of the best levels in Downhill Jam, because it actually looks like the place it's meant to be. It's not just a straight line, it's not just flat ground. There are a few ramps, a few ruins to grind on. It goes through a coliseum at some point. I did keep crashing into the walls a lot though. But yeah, I do like it. It is one of the better Downhill Jam levels. In terms of Tony Hawk's overall, I think it's bang average, middle of the pack. Rooftops from Tony Hawk's 5. This is, despite being on a rooftop, one of the flattest, dullest levels in the entire franchise. It's just a crap load of quarter pipes and some what I can only assume is some scaffolding. This is such a forgettable level. Nothing going for it. If I'm absolutely forced to, if someone pins me down and says play this level or I'll shoot you, I'll play it. I think it's Where Fun Goes to Die. Roswell, the last competition level in the original game. It's almost impossible to get a combo going, because every time you get a few tricks in, you hit a wall. You got to turn the corner while you're manualing. There's 2 half pipes in this level and a grind thing in the middle. That's about it. So if it wasn't for the cool alien Easter egg, or the fact that it was designed based on the Roswell incident, this would probably be in Where Fun Goes to Die. But I think the alien pushes it up to the lower end of Sketchy Landing. Okay, Ruins. I think this is meant to be like LA, but post-apocalyptic LA. You got the donuts. The donut sign is the only thing I really remember from this map. It's fine. It's a very generic street design level. I don't remember much about it. I think it was there in classic mode. It just looks like a bog standard middle of the road level. I get they were trying to make it cool with the whole apocalypse vibe, but I don't think it's apocalyptic enough. I think it looks like a level from Proving Ground. So I think it's going on off the mark for me. San Diego, one of the weaker levels in Underground. I think it's not great. The thing I remember is do the horse statue. If that's the best thing you can remember on a map, then you're doing something wrong. It's a street level again. It's completely flat. There's like a skateboard / monument area on the side with basically nothing to do. And there's the whole other end with the fountain. Again, not much to do. The only thing I remember about this level is when you jump over the stairs and the guy's like, what does he say? You're unconscious, kid. That's it. Yeah, this misses the mark. This is off the mark for me. Sorry. San Francisco from Downhill Jam. One of the worst downhill levels in Downhill Jam. Probably one of the worst levels in Tony Hawk's franchise, full stop. It's just two or three big long roads and nothing ever changes. It's like they've not even tried to split it up and put like, I don't know, a park in the middle or anything. It's just a big long road with some railway tracks, a big long road with some railway tracks. Repeat that 8 times. Put a car park at the end. That's it. Terrible. Really, really boring. That's going to go where fun goes to die as well, although it is still better than Rooftops. Okay, San Francisco from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I like this level a lot. I remember saving the Painter Neil, is it? Where you grind around the seagulls. I remember when you have to get the camera that was stolen back. And I remember the fishermen, the mini games as well. Feeding the seals. For a street level, this is alright. The street itself is pretty boring, but the stuff either side of the street makes up for that. So I'm going to go fun to be had. Fun to be had, but it's quite high up. Santa Cruz, I first played this on Underground 2 Remix. It was the PSP version. It's another street level with a little skate park in the corner. It's fine. I think this was designed for the PSP. I like the pier area. And then you can unlock a little arcade beachfront type thing with a swinging ship in the PSP version. But yeah, pretty forgettable, average level. Nothing too special. Put it bang in the middle of the pack. Santa Monica from American Wasteland. It looks like Santa Monica, the real area, the real place. Does that make it a good place to skate? Not really. Not really. You skate to the end of the pier, that's it. The roller coaster's fine, but it's not as good as the roller coaster in Carnival, in my opinion, in terms of like using it with your tricks and stuff. I'm assuming this is more fun in the career mode, where the goals are sort of adapted to suit the environment. In terms of just a free skate level, which is what I was doing here, I wasn't having much fun. Visually, it's fine, but skateability-wise, not the best. There's the boardwalk here, which is just wooden stairs and a few quarter pipes. Yeah, this fell flat for me. This is actually going to go in Sketchy Landing. Right, School 2. This is a great level, I'm going to say it now. I don't think it's Holy Shred, but I do think it's one of the greats. I think it goes just behind Los Angeles and just in front of Barcelona. Considering this game came out with the second ever Tony Hawk's game, and it's still so playable now, we've got all these extra tricks added. Says a lot, and that's not just nostalgia speaking. I like the hidden area as well in the gymnasium. The 3 thingy rails, roll call rails were they called. This was one of the first levels I had I wouldn't say destructible, but an environment that you could change as well, and you could even get on the roofs and stuff. I remember TC's kickflip as well. I do like this game, and I think they put Jack Black in a security van or something in the remake, which was funny. And I like, the hidden tape and the hidden area, although there wasn't much to do in that hidden area. Yeah, I think if they added a little bit more to that hidden area and made that much more skatable rather than just having a quarter pipe on a bit of grass, it could have made it into Holy Shred, but I think that just let it down slightly. That's why it's in one of the greats. We've got the school from Project 8. I enjoyed this level. I really enjoyed this level. For what it is, I like the piano that you can grind down that unlocks the secret area inside the school itself. There's the gym, all the benches you can grind around, you can get on the roof. There's that mega jump that goes onto the school roof where you do the demo. Considering it was quite a small area in a free roam Tony Hawk's game, I think it's one of the top levels in the game. I do. I think I'm going to put it on a solid choice, actually. Right, and now we've got the original school level from Tony Hawk's 1. One of my favourite levels of the entire franchise, this. and it's timeless. Considering they made this for the PS1 version where you couldn't even manual, it has some surprisingly good combo lines. I still remember the hidden tape and how to get the hidden tape. A lot easier on the remake for obvious reasons, but it's a cool little skatepark area, and then you got the pools at the end as well, and you got that little hidden gap that goes over the roof. Yeah, I like this. I don't think it's as good as Skull 2, but is it still one of the greats? I think it goes on the top end of a solid choice. Okay, Shipyard. One of the most underrated levels in the game, in my opinion. I remember the shipping container goal was a little bit annoying, but I do also remember the ticket. Well, you had to collect tickets or something. Rackets, tickets. You had to collect some kind of tools for this guy, and then you had the dogs chasing you. Quite a bit of verticality. I like the cranes as well. I think this is a good level. I don't know, a lot of people didn't think it was, but I did. The edges can be a little bit lacking. You know, most of the action is in the middle, but yeah, I do like this level. I like when you have to splat the rat as well. I'm going to put this on Fun to Be Had, and I think it's just behind Kona. Skate Heaven. This is one of the unlockable levels that you unlock when you finish the game. A very questionable looking bowl in the middle. This is one of them levels that had loads of portals and stuff, a bit like Pro Skater. I couldn't get my head around this level, and even if I could, I don't think it's the most skateable level. It's just one big curly half pipe, a few bowls, a few grinds. They're definitely going more for visuals rather than playability, and it shows. It's cool that you can look at Tony Hawk's backyard or whatever it is, but I'm not a big fan of these futuristic levels, and I know a lot of people really like this level, but I am not one of them. In fact, I think this might be one of the worst, and that will surprise people. It might even shock people. But I'm going to have to put this in Sketchy Landing. I don't think it's that good. I think it's a cool idea. Again, just really flawed in execution. I don't think it's worse than Machu Picchu though. I think it's somewhere between Santa Monica and Bonfire Beach. And people are going to hate me for that, but like I keep saying, it's my list. Okay, Skatepark for Project 8. In terms of the skatepark levels, this is one of my favourites. It's cool that you can combo around the whole thing. I like the destructible bowl in the middle. Trying to get that wall plant pro challenge is pretty annoying. I don't know how on earth you're meant to get sick. I can just about get pro. Maybe it's something to do with stats or whatever, but I like this level. Maybe it's the more realistic controls, I don't know, but everything sort of has its place and everything's trickable. In terms of a purely skatepark level, it's one of my favourites, and I'm going to put it in a solid choice. Right, Skater Island, and this is definitely going to get a lot of hate from people because I think this level sucks ass. It's another skatepark level that just does not work in a Tony Hawk game, and I realised they tried to model it after a real skatepark, which I'm pretty sure was closed down a couple of years after the game came out. And if this, don't get me wrong, if this level was on a game like Skate 3 or Session or Skater XL, I think it'd be one of the best ones. It just doesn't work in a Tony Hawk's game because it's an arcade type skating game, but it's a realistic skate park, and I don't think they merge very well. So, really cool level, wrong kind of engine. I think we're gonna have to put it in off the mark. Skatestreet Ventura, another skate park level, better than Skater Island in my opinion, not by much. There are two secret areas on the outside which almost impossible to do a combo with. It's just like, oh look, you can go outside, here's a fun box, or here's a ramp. That's it. You'll spend most of your time inside around the half pipe and the bowls and the big quarter pipe in the corner. Comboing is decent. Skateability is okay, but again, it's a competition level, and you can tell there's not too much going for it. It's middle of the pack, better than Rome. Skatopia, the last level in Underground 2, and honestly, I think this is it's gonna have to go. It's gonna have to go in holy shred, and I think it comes close to first. I'm gonna put it in between Airport and Moscow. Skatopia is one of my favorite levels ever. Skateability, the high wires, the grinds, the quarter pipe, the bowl, the shed, the shack gap, the high line, the wire, I think I already said that, Bigfoot, acid dropping off a tree, the bonfire, the zip lines, everything about this is just so creative and cool. Jumping over the house, I think I'm about to do. Yep, I remember having to front flip the Skatopia sign. And the finale as well. setting off all the fireworks, saving the dogs, and then comboing to the sign. This is how you do a skate level. But it's its own thing, and it does it so well. And some of the gaps in this level are the funnest ones to get. Like just running up the stairs is a gap. I think it's worth 1 point or something like that. You run up the stairs in the middle of a combo, you get 1 point, and I think the gap is called upstairs. And there's that weird hip transfer as well. That they literally have a gap for it called a weird transfer. I think when the developers got to this level, they were just having a bit of fun, and you can tell, and it really works. And it's, you know what, I think it's my top level, one of the best levels in the entire franchise, without a doubt. Skylines. This is a shockingly bad level. Absolutely no, this sucks the fun out of everything. It's impossible to do a combo. You go up a quarter pipe, you'll either fall off to your death or you'll go straight into a wall. There's no grinds that lead to each other. There's nothing fun about this level at all. This is where fun goes to die. Slam City Jam, probably the best skate park level in my opinion, because everything just flows nicely. And it grinding around the glass around the edge as well, launching in from all four corners of the map, the blimp, all the competitions. This is where you become a professional skater in the story mode. This is how you do a skate park level in a game. I'm sure I said that about one of the other skate park levels, but yeah, this is really good. The only thing that lets it down is the vehicle in this level, the blimp. It's fine as just like a novelty one-off mission, but you'd never choose to fly it voluntarily. So Slam City Jam is one of the greats in my opinion, but only just. Slums, not bad. It's quite decent for what it is. It looks like it belongs in Proving Ground with the grey colour palette and, you know, the rough kind of looking areas. This has got that the goal where you have to sort of break all your bones and land in a garbage can with BAM. I think that's what I remember from this. It's okay, just above average I'd say. I'd probably put it in, there's some fun to be had. Right, we've got Streets, which is the last non-competition level from Tony Hawk's 1. This is okay for what it is. It's a street level. It was the first proper street level they tried besides downtown, and considering that you couldn't manual at the time, it's pretty good. I like the fountain. I like the way you work your way up to get the hidden tape. As much annoying as it was to get, there's a couple of secret areas in this level. There's that bowl inside the museum-y looking area. The starting area is pretty cool, how you go down the ramp. The tram is very annoying. You used to always get hit by the tram. But yeah, the secret tape, which I'm about to not get right now, is the most memorable goal, probably because it's the hardest one in the game, especially on the original engine. And I remember having to destroy the cop cars as well. The middle of the map with the flat area, not a lot to do. It's okay, it's not the best. I think there's some fun to be had. Alright, we've got Suburbia from Project 8. In terms of a starting level, I think this is fine. I think it's cool how you have like a little road in the middle on like the cul-de-sac, and you've got a rich end and a poor end. I remember having to shag dad's balls. That's one of the missions in the game, where you learn how to do flips. It's where you get introduced to those line challenges as well. I think it's cool. It's really skatable for what it is. And it's quite a compact little level as well. I like it. It's very good for an introduction level. I think it's above average. I think I'm going to put it in a solid choice. The original Suburbia from Tony Hawk's 3. I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is not a good level. It just doesn't flow. There's no flow to it. Combos are ridiculously hard. The highlight of this level is giving the axe to the thin man and getting the hidden tape. But the novelty soon wears off. This is not, even these quarter pipes in this like camping slash motorhome area, they don't really link to each other very well. I think I prefer the original version of this on the PlayStation 1, because you got to smash the ice cream truck to get the hidden tape, and it annoys me that they took that out and replaced it with this like wooden scaffolding area. I'm gonna have to put this on skateboard. Okay, Subway from 2X. I'm just gonna say it straight away. This is where fun goes to die. It's quite an accurate representation of the New York subway, because I was there a few months ago. I mean, obviously it doesn't look realistic because of the graphics, but it's the right layout. But it's impossible to skate well. There's a quarter pipe, well done, but there's two trains that appear to be broken down. It's really hard to get into them, and once you're in them, there's nothing to do apart from grind. I don't even think you can grind the seats. Yeah, it's just loads of things you crash into. There's no fluidity. There's nothing. It's just a throwaway, terrible idea. I'm sorry. So yes, so fun goes to die. Tampa from Underground 1. I know a few people don't really like this level. I like it in terms of the street level. I know a lot of the focus is in the competition area in story mode, but it's got some decent things on the side. It's got the party boat as well. It's got the the wall plant combo mission was really sucky though, especially on sick mode. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's gonna go in the middle of the pack. Tokyo, it's a cool idea. I like the lights. I like the fact that it's not visually boring. It's quite easy to do combos around the edges. I spent most of my time around the edges rather than in the middle of the game because there was quite a few gaps for the transfers that you could do between the quarter pipes. Never used the loop. It was cool the first few times, but you can't use them in combo because you can't manual around them. So, you know, it would probably do better in a game like Skate 3 than it would in Tony Hawk's. It's fine for a competition level, but it's not great. I'm going to put it in Sketchy Landing. But yeah, I know people are going to be furious with how low I've rated that. Okay, down to the last 7. We've got Training from Tony Hawk's Underground 2. I like the stuff they added to it, the original warehouse. I think it bumps it up from like a 3 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10. And I'm not just saying that. One of my favourite levels in Tony Hawk's Underground 2. So many cool combo lines, and then the nostalgia obviously from the original Tony Hawk's. I'm going to put this in a solid choice. It definitely is a solid choice. Okay, we've got the Triangle, which is the bonus level for finishing Classic mode in Underground 2. There's quite a few cool little combo lines, more than you'd expect from looking at it. But all the stuff around the edge of the map, I basically never used. The best part about this is lipping on the UFO. But yeah, cool idea. A bit of a weird one, but it was a cool idea. I think it was alright. It was definitely better than the other secret level, which was Pro Skater. Vancouver from Canada. Underground 1. This is where Slam City Jam is based. I like this level a lot. The leaf blower guy really annoys me. Those goals suck. But I do like this. I like the goal where you have to get the tickets and the goal where you have to get the t-shirts as well. Like those combo lines and things like that. It's cool. For a street level, it's one of the better ones. I do like the underground bit as well, where you can actually score a goal with the hockey puck. I think I'll put Vancouver in fun to be had, but quite close to the top. I think it's better than New Orleans. I'm going to put it in a solid choice, actually. Yeah. Okay, Vans Park from Wasteland. It's okay. As a skate park level, it's fine. Was this from Matt Hoffman? I don't remember, but yeah, again, it's just a bowl and a few quarter pipes, but with a little bit more to it this time. You can go on the scaffolding. There's air hockey tables that you can grind on, stuff like that. It's fine for what it is. If it wasn't in the game, I don't think you'd miss it. It's still pretty cool. I'm gonna put it in middle of the pack. I think it's better than Skatestreet. Venice in California, I think. Venice is Venice in California? I think it is. Yeah, I love the art design of this in the remake. The art design is one of the best ones. And the fact that it was at sunset or sunrise, the colour is gorgeous. The skateability of the map kind of sucks in that middle bit with the tables and the rails. Getting a combo going is virtually impossible. I think it's cool. I don't think it's the best. I'm going to put it in fun to be had, but right at the bottom. We've got the warehouse. This is the first ever level that you get to play, and if I was going to let nostalgia take over, this would go right to the top. Holy shred, but let's face it, it's not a good level. It's a pretty terrible level. I think we're going to be nice and put it in off the mark, and that is going to piss a lot of people off, and I don't care because it's my list. And the last one is Zoo from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I think this is a classic level. Whoever thought, oh, let's do a zoo, because, you know, they're notoriously easy to skate around, but the way they've adapted it to make it skatable is pretty damn good. I love the fact that you can free the elephant and then you can go on a hunt for the penguins. That's pretty cool. I like how all the goals are themed around animals, like escape the lions, sketch the elephant's tail, jump over elephant rock, find the penguins, the birds. When you do the lip tricks around the birds, you throw poo at the monkeys. No, the monkeys throw poo at you. Might not be the best from a technical standpoint in terms of skateability, but yeah, it's got the destructive bridge as well when you free the elephant. I do like. I'm going to put this in a solid choice. I'm quite high up as well. I think it's better than Training, not as good as Berlin. So there you have it. The best level in the entire Tony Hawk's franchise is Skatopia, and just bear in mind these were my opinions, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with them, but this is just how I felt, and I tried to look at the levels as objectively as I could without bringing nostalgia into it. I know there are a couple of picks that are a bit out there, some of you will disagree with, but I hope for the most part I've done the series justice, and I just want to say thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe.